guys, welcome to another Sports Static. Glad to have you here, guys. Man, we're excited to get this show going. I'm under construction right now. Little bit of new studio action going on, so there is a little bit of construction behind me. If you see a worker come back there behind me, guys, just chill out because he's just going to be doing work. And so we got a lot of stuff going on. Joe, what is going on? I'm sorry, Joe, about the construction stuff going on. It's a little bit annoying, is it not?
Honestly, John, I like the background, man. It looks good. It's a little different. I like it. But I'm excited for this week of football. A lot of new updates today, man. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Well, Joe, you're going to have to bring these updates because I've been under construction now for over a week here on some of the new studios that we're setting up. And so you guys are going to see some mishaps here. I'm telling you, it's all brand new studios, brand new equipment, and pretty exciting, Joe. We're trying to take the show to the next level.
Hey, we are taking it to the next level. You know, we have the new basketball show. Great, man. The studio is going to be looking good in a couple weeks. I'm just excited to keep the ball rolling.
That's what I like to hear, my friend. Now, Joe, we got a game going on right now, do we not?
Yeah, man. Texans Jaguars is playing right now.
And what's the score there?
Texans Jaguars. Texans up 9-0. Jaguars have the ball right now in second quarter, under 5 minutes.
Under 5 minutes in. What are you thinking, Joe?
Honestly, my prediction was the Texans are going to win basically because of Deshaun Watson. I like Deshaun Watson. The Jaguars, good team, but I just think the Texans' offense is too much firepower for the Jaguars.
Too much horsepower, you're saying. Too much.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson, man. He's been doing great. Honestly, you could have him in MVP talks right now. DeAndre Hopkins is doing great as well, catching a lot of receptions. So if you have him in PPR, he's a must start. Definitely, probably the best receiver in the league right now. Pretty much because Julio Jones isn't, producing because the Falcons are pretty bad.
Right.
So I got the Texans in this one.
Okay. And can you one more time tell me where are we at in this game here?
All right. So we have Texans up 9-0. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jags have the ball.
Nice. Gonna be a good one, Joe. It's gonna be a good one. Now, typically, Joe, we'd be able to do our picks on that.
Yeah.
And we just dropped the ball on that because of all our production setup. So, hey, we didn't get to make our pick on this. But, Joe, you know as well as I do that we would have picked Texans, right?
Yeah, we both would have went Texans on this game.
Guys, we would have said that anyway. I mean, but then if it would have been, Carolina or were they playing? See how messed up?
They're playing the Jags right now.
The Jags.
Yeah.
You see how messed up I am? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so out of the whole freaking thing right now, guys. It's crazy. Anyway, if the Jags would have been winning, then we would have said that we picked the Jags, right?
Definitely would have picked the man, you caught me off guard on that one, man. I still would have picked the Texans.
I would have picked the Jags. If they were winning right now, I'm going to try, guys, to keep up with you, okay, we do not have producer in the studio. Can you tell? No producer in the studio today. So what I'm going to try to do, guys, if you're watching this, the only comments I'm probably going to be able to get, I'll see what I can do. Joe, why don't you go ahead while I'm doing that and see what you can do as far as what are the major games today that's going to be something that people really need to get their eyes glued to the TV for?
All right, well, honestly, the major game obviously is going to be that Patriots-Ravens game. The Patriots, newly acquired Mohamed Sanu, he's probably going to be a big part of that offense, along with N'Keal Harry's active now. So, Tom Brady has his wide receiver core. Edelman, their tight end, he's good. Ben Watson, I think he probably is going to catch a touchdown today. That's my bold prediction. But, man, I'm picking the upset, man. I'm picking the Ravens. We have to remember that Bill Belichick has a tough time against running quarterbacks. Cam Newton's beaten Bill Belichick and Tom Brady 2 out of the 5 years, 2 times out of 5 years. So Bill Belichick has a tough time against running quarterbacks, and Lamar Jackson is like Mike Vick 2.0, man. He is exciting, entertaining, ridiculously fast. So I have the Ravens in this one. I think the Patriots going to have to throw the ball a lot.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
I mean the Ravens. The Ravens in this one.
You got the Ravens
yeah,
taking
I got the
out.
Ravens. The Patriots, yeah. First loss.
Whoa.
It's in Baltimore, man.
Wow. Wow, Joe. And you know what, Joe? I got to tell you something. I'll leave it till we get to the rundown. Because I got something to say about that. And there is some crazy stuff I will tell you, though, while we're on that real quick. The last quarterback to rush for 100 yards, at least 100, against the Patriots. The last one, Randall Cunningham.
Oh, that was a while ago.
That's what I'm saying. And I know he might give up yards here and there, Belichick or whatever it is, but that's a stat for you that the last quarterback to gain 100 yards rushing against the Patriots was the one and only Mr. Randall Cunningham. Mr. Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was a while ago, but, you know, I think Cam Newton maybe not have rushed for 100 yards, but he rushed for a lot of yards against them. And Lamar Jackson is a lot faster than Cam Newton. So
yeah,
we're gonna see. I'm ready for this game, and it's a great game. I think Lamar Jackson's gonna rush for a lot of yards. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I have the Ravens taking it.
It is. It's going to be a close game, and the defense. Okay, so here's another crazy thing. The next best defense that we've seen aside from this New England Patriot defense at this point in the season for them, okay? We have to go back to the 1985 Chicago Bears. And the thing that's crazy about that is that the New England Patriot defense, according to all the stats, are way better than that 85 Chicago Bears. It's crazy. You know they've given up 2 TDs, passing TDs? Joe.
Yeah, they are really good. Like I said the previous show, if it was just the defense out there and Tom Brady didn't even play the whole game, their record would be 3 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. That's ridiculous. We're looking at a historic defense midway through the season. So
no, it is. And I want to go right away now because, guys, I am going to try to keep up with you on the boards here. Ian says, hey, guys, good morning. Ian, good morning. Joe, Ian's on the show.
Ian, what's up, man?
All right, so, Ian, you can see we got it going on. At one time, I thought Watson and Winston were the same person. Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, what do you think about that, Joe, as far as Watson and Jameis Winston?
Yeah, Watson's way better than Jameis Winston. But, I mean, honestly, Winston, he just doesn't learn from his mistakes. He could be good, but he just doesn't learn from his mistakes, man. He averages like 2.5 interceptions a game. It's really frustrating to watch as a Bucs fan, so.
It is, and everybody, you know, what they say, and this is what's been said for a long time, and I agree with it. Defense wins games, okay? But offense actually can make a defense win a game. A poor offense that is giving turnovers up makes the team you're playing, the defense, better and win the game. So, yes, defense wins games, and when you're letting the defense beat you because you're throwing the ball to a defender, that's one way to get a defense to win a game. So, yes, defense wins games, but the only way your defense can win the game for you, if you're not a strong offense, if you're not a powerful offense, which we are at the Buccaneers here, is to not turn the ball over to the defense. Pick sixes, fumble recoveries, you name it, Joe. We've seen it.
Yeah, we've seen it all. Like we said, he hangs on to the ball for too long. You only have 3 seconds. He doesn't seem to throw it away. like we tell them every week. I know the wide receivers, apparently Bruce Arians was like, those interceptions weren't on Jameis and the wide receivers weren't running the routes. It's like, man, just had a week off and you can't even, it's honestly ridiculous. You just had a bye week and you can't, make the right routes. But that's what you get as a Bucs fan. So I'm not surprised.
I mean, the thing about it is that here's what frustrates me. And guys, we kind of got off onto the Buck things. Why? Because we're in Tampa Bay. Okay, that's why. We're in Tampa Bay. I'm not necessarily, do I rarely pick Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you rarely pick.
Okay, and I'm a Buccaneer fan, but I'm also a realist, you know what I mean? And I do like the underdogs, Joe. And so, Joe, I always go for the underdogs.
Right, I know.
That's another thing I do. Right, I've picked the Browns every week this year. Now, and I guess I didn't pay attention close enough to know that there's a reason why I'm not picking the Buccaneers week in, week out. And that's because I don't know which Jameis shows up. If you're going to try to run a ball against the Buccaneers, guess what's going to happen, Joe? You try to run against us.
Yeah, you can't run against us.
No, you can't. It's a great run-stop defense. Look at the numbers the offense puts up. Our receivers, Evans and Godwin, the combination is the best duo in the NFL. So, Joe, when you can't run the ball against us, you can only pass. Now, if you pass, Joe, you're going to get crazy yards, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get some yards because the secondary is not that great. But, I mean, when you turn the ball over so many times, it's hard for the defense.
So we got all that stuff, Joe, that's going for us. What's the one missing piece in Tampa Bay that we had to make me bet for them every single week, Joe?
The quarterback.
Damn it, Joe. It's the damn quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, when can we get the Glazers to... I know everybody wants to go GM and they want to go coaches, GM, they want to go down the list. I'm calling to the Glazers, Joe. The Glazers to be sitting up in that football suite up there at the Raymond James Stadium. I want them to be looking out of the suite, sipping on a little Bruja, whatever they may think their favorite is. And I want them to look down there and say, you know what? It's time to bring another Super Bowl championship to the Tampa Bay area, and we're not going to do that with this team.
Yeah, right. I agree, man. And it's like, we're looking at quarterbacks in the draft right now. I think hopefully we get the guy from LSU, Joe Burrow. He's good. He's looking good. And it's just, Jameis has a lot of potential, but he makes too many mistakes. And fifth year, we're at the end of his contract, I don't think we should give him that amount of money, if he's not taking us to even the playoffs.
I hear you. Maria's in the house. Oh, that's Maria, huh? Oh, what's going on there? Maria's probably got the Murph man there, Joe, with her. You know Murph man.
Oh, the Murph man.
The big dog. The big dog. The big dog's in the house.
I miss Murph man.
So what I want to do, I'm going to be kind of trying to monitor, as I said, but what we really want to try to do here is get some of these fantasy things done, Joe, prior to the games kicking off. So that's what we want to kind of do is kick off some of this. So, Joe, I'm sure you've been kind of going through some of your fantasy stuff, my friend.
Yeah, I've been going through a lot. I mean, there's a lot of tough games. I mean, you want me to go quarterbacks right now?
Well, let's first and foremost, Joe, let's go ahead and go in to our fantasy segment here.
Yeah.
Going into the fantasy segment, guys. Boom. It's fantasy time, guys. It is fantasy time. So, Joe, when we're talking fantasy, why don't you bring it to me? And bring it to me with them quarterbacks, Joe, because, that's the huge part of this if you're going fantasy right now, Joe.
Quarterbacks? Okay. My first quarterback off the board, I'm going Kirk Cousins against the Chiefs. the Chiefs' defense gives up a lot of passing yards. So I have to go Kirk Cousins. And, I mean, I think Kirk's been hitting Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs a lot. So I would definitely start Kirk Cousins. Another quarterback I would start, unfortunately, Russell Wilson against the Bucks. I think the Bucks probably get torched by Russell Wilson. He's probably going to roll out of the pocket a lot. And he's also, the Seahawks just got Josh Gordon off waivers. So they're looking really good. Scary team.
Wait a second.
Yeah, the Seahawks.
Can you believe this? Now here's the thing. Let's just stop here for a second because Joe, Josh Gordon was said to be injured again. Okay? I don't know about you, but I'm very skeptical of the whole situation again.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, how in the world do the Patriots just go, you know what, Josh? No. How does that happen, Joe?
I don't know. You always seem like the Patriots are always like right on their decisions, but to give just a star wide receiver to a really good team already is kind of surprising. So
this guy just can't keep his head out of crap.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you what, he's getting ready to be suspended again. I'm going to tell you right now, he's getting ready to be suspended again. And I just cannot believe it. I really can't. The talent that you get there, but they've made 2 choices like this recently with him and. Now, they've got some good games out of Gordon, don't get me wrong. But they've made some bad choices with him and with Antonio Brown. Joe, you know what I'm thinking about with Antonio Brown. I know you know that already, what I'm thinking.
A bozo?
He is, though. I mean, he just is. He is the bozo. You know it, and I know it. I know what I was going to do, Joe. I know exactly what I was going to do. Because he is.
He is, man. He is a bozo, and, that's what probably the Patriots are thinking. They're probably like, Josh Gordon's probably going to get in trouble again, and that's why they released him. So we're going to see, and I feel like they're probably right.
They probably are right. Something's up with that. Something has got to be up with that for that to be happening. Something's got to be up. Okay, so Ian says, what about Tampa Bay? Ian, thanks for the comment. What about Tampa Bay picking up Dalton in the offseason? The Red Rocket can thread a needle at times. He's never had protection. The way I look at it, you're bringing any quarterback into Tampa Bay, then you want to make sure you're going to be able to protect the quarterback. Now, Joe, you and I have both counted when Jameis is making his big mistakes, and I know the guys over there, Ian, on 620 AM. Yeah, he can't just go ahead and put his head out there and call it what it really is. He's acting like Jameis Winston doesn't have any time. And if you watch when he's making these mistakes and whatever he's doing, he does have that ball in his hands for 4 and 5 seconds, and then he's trying to make something happen. But it's the smart quarterbacks that live to play another down. You're not going to see some of the better quarterbacks running around like their feet are on fire trying to make some crazy thing happen, and then you see what happens when he does that, Joe.
Yeah, you see what happens. He makes a mistake. I like Andy Dalton coming to Tampa Bay. He gets a better offense, probably the same offensive line because the Bucs and the Bengals offensive line isn't very good. But I think he would love that, man, because he gets a solid defensive front. And Andy Dalton doesn't make as many mistakes as Jameis. He could sling the ball, and Mike Evans isn't injured as much as AJ Green, so I think that'd be a good pickup.
What do we got to lose at this point?
Yeah.
We're going to see. There's a couple things that are going to happen, okay? What's going to happen in the offseason is going to be interesting. It's scary to me that we still have so many games left that if Jameis has 3 or 4 good ones, they're going to pay him, and he'll be here next year. That scares me.
Yeah, that scares me too.
All right, Joe, let's move right along here and crank out some more fantasy talk here. What I'm going to do, Joe, as far as moving into DraftKings stuff, because I really want to move into the DraftKings here, and what I want to do, I want you guys to see, because what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to show you guys my DraftKings stuff here. So when you're looking at it here on the main board, and I'm looking at quarterbacks. Now, Joe, we've got Winston here, okay? Winston is, let's see here. Where was I? Boom, boom. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, basically, what I'm saying is we want to go with somewhat of a cheap quarterback. That's what I want to do. I want to go with a cheap quarterback, okay? So, what I'm probably going to do when I'm thinking quarterbacks is I'm going to try to go somewhere where I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to spend a bunch of money because I want to use it somewhere else. So, Joe, with cheap quarterbacks, okay, Joe, I'm going to tell you. First and foremost, Joe, I'm going to throw it at you right now, okay? You got Russell Wilson at Tampa Bay. You said you like that, Joe.
I do.
He goes at 7,100. You got Patrick Mahomes out. We know he's out, right, Joe?
He's out.
Patrick Mahomes is out. Aaron Rodgers, Joe. Aaron Rodgers is playing Los Angeles Chargers, Joe. Aaron goes in at the price tag of 6,900. Joe, I know you like Aaron.
Oh, yeah, I love Aaron Rodgers.
You
Definitely.
love Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great quarterback.
He is a great quarterback. I mean, he is a great quarterback. So, I mean, it's crazy, but I don't know, Joe. Every time I'm playing this on the DraftKings, I don't got any money for the good guys that are making stuff happen, Joe.
Hey, I have some budget quarterbacks for you, man.
Okay.
I would go. I mean, I bet he doesn't cost that much money. Josh Allen against the Redskins.
Josh Allen against the Redskins. That's
probably a budget. I mean, Redskins are terrible. So
that's pretty good, isn't it?
That's what I think.
So Josh Allen right here comes in at a price tag of $6,500 against the Redskins.
Also.
It is, and it's probably because of who he's playing, Joe. It's expensive because of who he's playing, and that's the thing, is it's expensive because of who he's playing, Joe. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably why. He'd probably get a couple rushing touchdowns, probably throw one as well. I'm looking at Sam Darnold against the Dolphins. I mean, Dolphins are, unless he's still seeing ghosts, I think he'll be fine against Miami.
Sam Darnold against Miami. I don't think he's still seeing ghosts, Joe.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine against that defense, to be honest.
I think he will too. So when we're going along here, one of the things, Joe, with me, okay, and I'm going to come back over to my DraftKings pop here. One of the things with me, Joe, that I'm looking at here, okay, is I'm going to scroll down here. Guys, you don't have to do what I'm doing, okay? We have Detroit at Oakland, okay? And I can pick up Derek Carr for $5,500. And I'm going to put Derek Carr, if you watch me click on it, I just put Derek Carr in as my quarterback. Running backs, Joe. We're going to running backs. So, the guy with the biggest price tag, Joe, is Chubb. Chubb's at Denver.
Oh,
and Joe, that's crazy because Denver's really a good run defense, aren't they?
Yeah, they are a good run defense. I would think it would be Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook?
I mean, the Chiefs' defense is just like, they give up a lot of yards, and Dalvin Cook has the most rush yards in the whole league.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, you're thinking it would be a Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. I mean, without Mahomes out, I think that offense gets a lot of possessions. So, I think he touches the ball a lot.
Well, I'm telling you, I like Cook. Dalvin Cook coming in. Why am I not? Oh, gosh. You know what, Joe? I wasn't scrolled all the way up.
It's Dalvin, isn't it?
McCaffrey's coming in at 10 grand,
Oh,
dude.
okay.
So McCaffrey at 10 grand. Guys, I like McCaffrey. He amazes me week in and week out.
Yeah.
There's a major problem that I feel with the Carolina Panthers right now in reference to McCaffrey. And my problem with it is that this guy is an incredible talent, but you're putting way too many miles on this guy. For a running back, receiver, you're putting way too many miles. And he had a sprained knee, okay? He was listed as questionable. Now, I know he's going to play, but I'm sorry, man, but if you want this guy to be around, you can't lean your whole team on one guy, especially when that one guy is the guy that's taking all the punishment and the damage, Joe. I mean, that's tough, Joe.
Yeah, I agree. McCaffrey's amazing, really good, but I mean, he gets the ball literally every single down. It's ridiculous. So, and the Titans defense, they have a good defense. So, I mean, if they just stack the box against McCaffrey, they can win that game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, now here's the thing. Joe, I really believe McCaffrey is good enough to get his yards and get his point against any team. I believe he's that good, that competitive, bringing 130% on every single touch. He's that good, and I think his surprising toughness when he's going up against these players, that his grit and his toughness is one thing of a surprise, but I think he surprises everybody with his speed as well. And I think you sleep on him for one step. You're a half step off on him, and he's 10 yards past you, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen what he's done this season, and the guy breaks tackles. He's strong. Yeah, you're right. He's extremely fast, but it's just like, man, I mean, you know, he's obviously a must start, but he's a lot of money, and you could there's some budget running backs that you can get that'll, you know, win you some games.
So, Joe, we got Chubb, okay? Chubb's up there. Let me kick over, guys, because what I want to be able to do for you guys is I want to be able to show you what I'm doing here. So, what we got there, and you look at is I'm showing you right now. This is what I'm going to pick. I'm just doing a cheesy draft live for you guys, but I want you to be able to see it. McCaffrey's up there at 10 grand against Tennessee. Delvin Cook from Minnesota is going against KC. He's at 9,500, okay? Now, Joe, you already mentioned one thing about as far as Cook goes. You mentioned with him, Delvin Cook. What are you thinking, Joe, with him going up against Kansas City defense?
I think he's going to have a good game. I really do. I mean, just seeing what he's done throughout this whole season. I mean, most rush yards in the NFL. He has a solid offensive line. I think he has a big game, to be honest.
He's got a healthy price tag at 9,500. You're only 500 under.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm thinking because of the fact, guys, now, I don't forget now, even if you go down and you start going down that list, you got Le'Veon Bell playing Miami. He's at 7,700. You take that huge drop down at 77. He's due for a game, Joe. Bell is due for a game.
I think he has a big game today.
And then playing that Miami defense, which we know is garbage, Joe.
Yeah, terrible.
I mean, what do you think he's actually going to be able to do to that Miami defense?
Yeah, I think this is going to be his biggest game of the season, to be completely honest. He's going to get the ball a lot. I think he gets like 3 touchdowns today. That's my bold prediction, just because Miami's defense is awful. Their offense isn't good. So.
Well, the Miami defense is ranked 31st against a rushing attack, okay? Yeah. So, Joe, when we say that they're right there, there's only – but guess what, Joe? Guess who's ranked number 30th against the rushing attack? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
So that Delvin Cook, like you're saying, Joe, that Delvin Cook one and the Le'Veon Bell one, Joe, I'm telling you, when you look at this, I'll go back and check out, guys. I'm going to go back, and what I'm going to do, Joe, I'm going to check out and see exactly, Joe, what it is. What do you say, Joe? You taking Delvin?
Yeah, I'm taking Dalvin, and I'd take Bell too. Look what James Conner just did to Miami. He had a big game against Miami, and I think Le'Veon Bell is going to have probably an even bigger game.
Le'Veon Bell is going to have a bigger game. I mean, I would think so too. It's so crazy because, I mean, Joe, I don't even know as far as, and guys, you got to forgive me. I got my mic still going, but sometimes I've had to walk out of the studio and adjust some lighting. So you got to forgive me on that one, okay? Anyway, Joe, let me go back over so everybody can see what's going on here. Guys, when you think of that at Dalvin Cook, and if we go over to Nick Chubb at Denver, if we're looking at Le'Veon Bell, I saved my money, guys, so that I can take a big running back like that. I'm taking Dalvin Cook in that. Okay, so now I get one more running back. Joe, I'm going to want to take a cheap running back that's going to make something happen today. So I need a running back, Joe. Do you got any advice for me?
I mean, I would take Derrick Henry against the Panthers, or I would take, man, I know he's kind of old, but Frank Gore against the Redskins. You know, I think he might have.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably a cheap running back you'd probably get.
Frank Gore against the Redskins. Frank Gore comes in at 4,300.
Right.
And he's playing the Redskins, huh?
I mean, yeah. So he already has, let me look at his stats right now. He has 422 yards on 95 carries and 2 touchdowns. So I mean, he's getting more carries than Singletary.
I mean, that's a pretty good stat there. Wow, that's a good one. And you know what, Joe? I'll tell you, I'm so close to taking that. I can't, when I start looking, there's a couple other good ones that I like. But I just don't know how they're going to go. But I'm almost thinking that I'm looking at Ty Johnson for Detroit, and he's just not doing it for me. He's not doing it for me. So I'm a little shy on that one, Joe. He's just not doing it for me. I was looking for somebody that was a little bit cheap. You got Chicago. I don't know. You got Lindsey, okay? Lindsey's at 5,300. Lindsey's up against the Cleveland defense. I'm not so sure I want to see that. I'm not so sure I want to see Lindsey go up against that.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to see Lindsey go against up there either. But I mean, I have another one for you, John.
Okay.
Look, man, I might go Eckler. I don't know how much he is, but you know, Eckler's been getting more carries than Melvin Gordon.
He has been getting a lot of carries.
So
I don't know, Joe.
Packers
I mean,
defense is good though, but
right, you're right, but still, I mean, man, I got to go way the hell down here to even see where Eckler is, and I think I'm in a pool right now, and you guys got to forgive me because I'm in a pool that's probably doing 1 o'clock games. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take your first hit towards me. I am going to go down here and find Gore because I think that was a good one, Joe, and it's just one that I think, all right, I picked it. Joe, wide receivers now. Wide receivers, Joe. First and foremost, questionable is Thielen for Minnesota. He's questionable, Joe.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay, then probably a good pick would be Diggs.
Diggs.
I mean, after he, complained and was like, look, man, you guys don't give me the ball. I just want to be traded. I mean, he got the ball a lot. And with Thielen kind of injured and against that Chiefs defense, Diggs is probably a good pickup.
I mean, I think that's a damn good one. And I'll tell you what, I mean, Joe, it's crazy because, guys, obviously you don't see me in the studio because I left the studio. What's crazy about it, Joe, when you look at this is I'm thinking Diggs, yes, is going to have, after he complained, he's going to have something. But when you look at this right here and what I'm looking at, what I'm going to see happen today is Detroit, okay, where I know I called and I'm playing the quarterback of the Raiders against Detroit. But I also want to take the wide receiver for Detroit, Galladay, okay, at 7,700. That's where I saved my money. So I'm taking Galladay there because I really want to see that happen. So we will see. So, Joe, with that being said, I got another wide receiver, Joe. Another one. Talk to me, Joe. Another wide receiver.
Look, man, another wide receiver I would take. Man, I'm looking right now. I would go Tyler Lockett against the Bucks, or I would go DK Metcalf against the Bucks. Like we said, the Bucks secondary isn't good, man. We let a lot of yards. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a big game, so I would start either of those receivers. I don't know
Metcalf and who else?
Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So
yeah, Lockett comes in at a pretty healthy price. Lockett's coming in at 7,500, and as far as Metcalf goes, we really got to come and scroll, unless I missed it. I don't even see him coming up on my stuff here, and I could have missed him. Which wouldn't be a surprise to me. There he is right there.
cheap, right?
Yeah, he's at 5,700. Metcalf. So we can take a look at him and see what's up with him. So Metcalf, I'll go ahead and put this up for you guys so you guys can see, because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm looking at. So when you look at him, he only had 3 receptions last week and out of 5 targets for 13 yards. Now, his home games, not so good. 23 receptions he has this year, 45 targets for 402 yards. He's averaging 17 and a half. It's not so bad. I guess he just had a pretty kind of a shabby outing, Joe, if I can say that. Last week he probably just had a shabby outing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, our corners are small, man. He's a big guy. That's why I would pick him up. Just because, like, he's so, like, 6'3", 200-some pound. Against our corners are only, like, 5'10". So it's, he's definitely a deep threat target. And against the Bucks, man, I would pick him up personally.
Right. Ian chiming in. Ian's saying that 9-3 Houston. I don't know if the score is still the same because he chimed that in a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah.
So 9-3 Houston, and he's saying how much is Gordon from L.A.? I can check that out for you to see what Gordon is.
Right.
Probably coming in not too shabby. But then, or Peterson. Peterson's way down the block, Ian. So you'll have to check. I'll check that out for you. Washington from the Steelers. Now, let me check something out for you, Ian, because I want to be able to tell you that, which I already went past that. But if you go and you look way down, Peterson is boom. Oh, geez, where is he? I don't see him. I'm sorry, Ian. I don't see him. We need a producer in the damn studio, don't we, Joe?
Yeah, man. But honestly, AP's probably a good pickup, too. I mean, the Bills' defense is good, though. But I would still go AP just because the volume he gets in that offense. So
because he's going to get the ball.
Yeah, he's going to get the ball a lot.
And he's going to run hard. So when he's getting the ball and he's going to run hard, yeah, you can pick him up. And he's actually $4,200. So if you can take him in the DraftKings at $4,200, that's not a bad pickup right there. Not a bad pickup at all. Joe, I need to get another receiver, okay? I got Galladay for Detroit. I need 2 more wide receivers, Joe. I think I'm at $23,000 to spend. So now I could probably get 1 more good receiver, Joe.
Okay, man. Okay, I'm looking at the Cowboys-Giants game. I like Amari Cooper against the Giants. Depending, he's probably a lot of money, but
Cooper, a lot of money.
is he?
I don't see him on here, Joe.
Oh, really?
I mean, not in the top tier here. So, I mean, I can go and look for him, but I just don't. So he's not a lot of money because, and you know what? I got to tell you, boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to look at which game I'm playing here because that's important, and he might not be there because of that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best today without a producer in the studio and a brand new system on top of it. So it's everything at one time, but we're still here, and we're still going to give you some stuff. So, Joe, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Joe. I'm going to run through some lists for you here real quick, all right, Joe? And you give me the nods on them. All right, so obviously you already mentioned Diggs. He's just a little too pricey for me right now. You mentioned Lockett to me.
Yeah.
Looks too pricey. And then right $100 less than that, Tyreek Hill, okay? You got Godwin. I mean, Godwin,
Godwin's
but
good.
still, Godwin's coming in at $7,300. I mean,
And he's going against the Seahawks.
and he's going against Seahawks.
Yeah.
He'll get the ball. You think he'll get the ball, Joe?
Yeah, he'll get the ball, but the Seahawks, I mean, and I just feel like Jameis is gonna make more mistakes. So I don't think I would start many Bucs receivers, especially at that high of a price.
Right, I hear you. What would you think about Allen from the Chargers?
Keenan Allen?
Yes.
Who's Keenan Allen going against? Oh,
Keenan,
the Packers?
Yeah, he's going against the Packers, but somebody's got to get the ball, Joe, for the Chargers.
The only thing is, he's going against Jair Alexander, man. And Jair Alexander's he's lock. He'll lock you up. But, I mean, I don't
That's
know.
good to know, Joe.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Because
Yeah.
strictly because of the matchup, right, Joe?
Yeah, Jair Alexander is really good.
So, guys, there's something to pay attention to, and strictly because of the matchup, cruising right along here and checking this out. There's a couple other, I mean, I could put another Detroit receiver out there because, again, someone's going to be getting it. But, you got Metcalf. We talked about Metcalf a little bit earlier. What about, let's see here. Oh, man, Deshaun Jackson's questionable, and I didn't get to see if he was playing or not.
Oh.
He's questionable.
Ooh, yeah, the Eagles against the
Bears.
Bears.
I mean, what if he starts? Deshaun Jackson.
I like Deshaun Jackson.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I think he's great. I'd put him in flex position if
Here we go.
cheap
Breaking news here right now. Update. Deshaun Jackson abdomen is expected to play Sunday against the Bears.
Okay.
Joe, that's good. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, depending how much he costs.
Well, I'll tell you right now how much he costs. Deshaun Jackson's coming in at $5,200.
It's pretty cheap.
I mean, that's pretty cheap, and he's expected to play.
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap, Joe. So, I mean, I gotta tell you right now, I'm kind of liking that one. So, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead. Where is he? Deshaun Jackson listed as questionable on DraftKings, but I'm telling you right now, we just got the breaking news that he is going to be in the game. So, I mean, with him being in the game, Joe, I'm liking that one. So, now, Joe, I need another receiver.
Okay, another receiver. And I like that Deshaun Jackson pick because the Bears, they've been – it's just their offense isn't very that great, so their defense can't really hold that end. But another receiver I'm looking at, man, I think Ian's going to like this one. I'll go Juju Smith-Schuster.
Ooh.
Against the Colts. Look, the Colts defense is good, but I just think Rudolph and Smith-Schuster, like, I like that connection. So I would go Juju.
Juju's at $6,300. And I do like that. I mean, and if I take a look at him, I mean, wow, he was targeted 9 times.
Yeah.
He had 103 yards last week. I mean, So, Joe, he did look pretty good.
He looked really good. Yeah.
I mean, he's a little bit pricey for where I'm at right now with it, and they're at Indy. I mean, I don't know, Joe, with them at Indy, if I actually go back and I look and see with how Indy's doing on their secondary, I mean, what do you think as far as the Indy on their secondary, Joe?
I mean, I think their secondary is good, but I just think James Conner's out. He's out. I think they're going to be passing the ball a lot against the Colts, so someone has to catch the ball.
And the Colts are ranked 15, so
Yeah,
right
so
in the middle of the pack as far as stopping the pass. And that's so when you're ranked 15, it's more about matchups, but you're not good enough to stop a Schuster. And if he's getting the ball is really what's important there, Joe, isn't it? It's just that he's just getting the ball thrown to him.
Yeah, he gets the ball a lot in this offense, and I think he does well today against the Colts. So
I think you're right on that one. And guys, I'm telling you, just because of Joe telling me that, I don't know. This is tough, but Joe, I think I'm going to go, and this should make Ian happy. Ian, I'm taking him. There it is. So now I'm on to the tight ends. And, Joe, I'm telling you right now, I've got 3 positions to fill, okay? And I've got 11,500 to spend. I'm looking for a tight end, Joe. Man, I mean, if I start scrolling down and I start looking for a tight end, could you imagine if O.J. Howard got something to happen here? They were talking about trades with him, and I mean, Joe, I'm just not sure. They were talking about trades with him.
yeah, they were talking about trades. I wouldn't trade him. I just think he has too much potential. He has been dropping, balls kind of as of lately, but he's been injured. We pretty much just use him as like a blocker. We have Cameron Brate. He's good. I mean, we have good tight ends, good receivers. O.J. Howard, man, and I would not trade him to the Patriots because I wouldn't want O.J. Howard to become a Gronkowski when he could have been a Gronkowski on the Bucks. So
right,
I wouldn't trade him.
Okay, so what do you think about Zach Ertz, Philadelphia, Joe?
I like Zach Ertz.
I mean, he's playing Chicago today.
Yeah, he's playing Chicago, but Zach Ertz, I think Zach Ertz is always a must-start tight end just because he gets so much volume. So
Patrick chimed in and said Washington. He actually said Mark Walton. Mark Walton.
On Washington?
No, he just said Mark Walton.
Oh, well, I need to check his stats.
I got to check it too.
Yeah.
Mark Walton, he probably was talking. We were on wide receivers. So if I scroll, trying to help me out with a cheap pick, scroll.
Okay, that's why.
Tell me, Joe, why?
Because, Kenyon Drake just got traded to the Cardinals. And
Okay.
he's been doing well. This is why I haven't really heard of this guy. But his number, Mark Walton, his numbers are good, man. Second-year running back.
Oh, running back.
Yeah, he's a running back.
Okay, that's why I'm off of it. Okay.
Yeah, 172 yards on the ground. Now he's getting the start. I mean, I wouldn't start anybody on Miami, but if he's getting a lot of volume in that offense, I mean, why not? He's probably super cheap, so why not start him against the Jets too? So it's probably a good start.
Right. So Hawk and Kittles. Ian's talking about tight ends. Guys, I'm trying to keep up with you here. I am trying to keep up with you, and which is very hard today without a producer in here. And we also have a lot of construction work going on. Not only do we have construction work, we have production equipment that has all been changed over. So bear with me, guys, as I try to keep up with you on this. We appreciate feedback. Good or bad. I got thick gator skin. You're not going to offend me. Trust me. But we are doing the best that we can. Ian, Steelers will be going to the tight end a lot today. with only one running back. So, yeah, Ian, and we mentioned that too. Joe mentioned that as far as Schuster getting the touches a lot because you don't have Connor in there, right, Joe?
Yeah, they don't have Connor. I think he's talking about Jesse James, right?
Jesse James, I'm sure he's talking Jesse
Yeah.
James. And I don't know as far as tight ends and Jesse James of where he comes in at a price tag on him. Jesse James right there for $2,800.
Wow. Yeah, that's a probably good pick.
But I'm afraid of that, Joe. I'm afraid of that. Last game, he had 0 receptions and 0 targets last game, and that scares me, Joe.
Yeah, you know why? Because they were giving the ball to Connor a lot. I watched that game, and it was Connor had got the ball a lot, and Juju got the ball a lot. So I think they're going to pass a lot this game. I mean, he's pretty cheap tight end.
Ian, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm scared of that, and I'm even more scared because you just want to see me take another Steelers guy here right now. I mean, I'm a little scared on that one, Ian. All right, Ian said it's all good, John. We're here. All right, I appreciate that. No James. James is on Detroit. Whatever the hell that is. I missed that. Stuff's flying right over my head, Ian. Joe, did you pick up on that?
Oh, is Jesse James? Man, so many acquisitions, man. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
I'm telling you, especially after we had a lot of the trades going on, or when someone's sucking it up for several weeks in a row.
He is on the Lions. You're right.
He's on the Lions.
Who's the new? Who's the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, and that explains why Patrick was talking about him. He's a Detroit guy.
Oh, okay.
That explains why.
Oh, Heath Miller. That's who you're talking about? Oh, is it Vance McDonald?
Jesse James is Ian saying Jesse James. Look,
Vance McDonald.
Jesse James, here's the thing. From Detroit, yes. Jesse James from Detroit. Yes. 0 receptions last game. 0 targets. 0 yards. I'm scared of Jesse James. The only Jesse James that I liked was the guy that built all that stuff in his garage and all those cool vehicles and stuff like that. He was hooking up with Sandra Bullock at one time. That's the Jesse James that I know. Joe, you know that Jesse James?
Yeah, I know him.
So anyway, guys, I got to get a tight end. I'm going to go ahead, throw up, so you guys can see me make my tight end pick here. Here we go. Tight ends. Check it out, guys. We have tight ends that I got to really make some good of a pick here. And I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to do a Zach Ertz here, and we take a look at Zach Ertz here, he only was targeted 4 times last week. Why does that matter to me? Because I want someone who's hot. What about Henry?
Hunter Henry?
Hunter Henry
Yeah.
had 4 receptions. He was targeted 6 times last week for 47 yards. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, now let's see here if I'm going on to Tennessee tight end facing Carolina here. Somebody's got to throw him the ball, right? This guy was targeted 7 times for 78 yards last week. When that happens in a game, Joe, right away I'm thinking, okay, if he was targeted that many times, then right away I'm thinking, well, that means to me, Joe, he was hot in practice. They talked about him, and they're like, hey, man, good game. Get ready. We're going to go to you a lot. And when I'm thinking that, Joe, I'm thinking, hey, what do you think, Joe? I mean, right away, I'm thinking this guy's got to get the ball.
Yeah, I like it. He did get the ball a lot. So, but, hey, man, another guy I'm looking at, too, is Disley against the Bucks. I mean, we know how bad that secondary is, so.
Disley against the Bucks?
Disley against the Bucks.
Well, that's pretty damn good. I mean,
yeah.
And you know, guys, the Buccaneers, They can't stop a turtle. Okay? They can't stop a turtle. They're not stopping anybody. If you want to get your name known, I mean, I don't know. You could be freaking coming off the couch, running a five flat 40-yard dash and probably have a huge day against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Joe, am I exaggerating here, or are they that bad?
Yeah, they're pretty bad. So I think Disley's would probably have a big game, or at least a decent game against the Bucs.
I'm so tempted on that one. So tempted on that one. Man, I don't know, Joe. I don't know, Joe. Any other tight ends that you might think of, Joe?
Any other tight ends I'm thinking of? I'm trying to look at. Okay, what about Waller, man? The Raiders tight end against the Lions. The Lions defense is good, but Waller's a good tight end. I don't know how much he costs though.
He really is a good tight end. Let's see. Walker or Waller? Waller, yeah, he's just way up there in price, Joe.
Oh, okay.
And he's too rich for my blood because I'm kind of hurting on cash right now, Joe.
Man, I'm trying to look, man. Hey, Hunter Henry's expensive too, right? Is Jimmy Graham expensive?
Hunter Henry's, he's asking for a lot of loot too. Is Graham expensive?
Yeah.
Where is Graham? I don't know, because I can't find him, and I'm just too distracted right now, Joe, to even look for the guy.
Oh, I would even go. Who's it? Njoku against the Broncos. Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good one. Njoku against the Broncos. So you're expecting somebody to throw him the ball, Joe?
I don't think they could run. I mean, I don't know why Chubb's so expensive. But yeah, I think Baker's going to be throwing the ball a lot, so I'd have him.
Well, what I'm going to do, guys, and I'm going to go with a guy that had a big week last week, okay? I'm going to expect him to have a pretty good week this week. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I am going to take Jonnu Smith at $3,800 for my tight end. Now I'm dealing with the flex position, and in my flex position is going to be a little bit tough one here, Joe. I'm sitting at $7,700 left here, Joe. Talk to me, Joe.
$7,700?
And I got two positions to fill.
Man, I would start Marvin Jones, but I feel like he's
Marvin Jones.
too much.
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, I can check and see. I'm seeing an Aaron Jones. That's too much. Marvin Jones, Detroit, $6,000. That's going to leave me with $1,700. Now, I could do it. He's a Detroit guy. I want to look and see what he did. 4 receptions, 5 targets, 22 yards. I mean, somebody's got... I don't know, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe.
I'm trying to look. Honestly, I like putting running backs in my flex position
spot?
just because they get more volume than wide receivers. So I like Eckler, but I guess it's too much money.
Danny's on here. Sorry to interrupt you, Joe. Danny is on. Danny wants to know, would you drop Golden Tate for Sterling Shepard? Standard League, Joe. Standard League goes right over to you, Joe.
That's tough. I'd have to look at their numbers, but I mean it's the same team. I like Sterling Shepard more than Golden Tate because I think Golden Tate's like more of a deep threat, and I think Sterling Shepard's a little better at route running, but it is Standard League, so if it's PPR, I'd go Sterling Shepard. I think Golden Tate probably catches more touchdowns. That's your call, man. That's your call. To be completely honest,
It's too tight of a call right there on that one.
Yeah, it's really tight call.
Danny, that's a tight one there. So I don't know. I mean,
I'm not even gonna pick that.
no, that's a tough one, Joe. And you know what, Joe? I like Golden Tate, but it's such a tight race right there. But I think Golden Tate's due for a pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably keep him, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't drop him and then like suddenly Sterling Shepard has I mean, Golden Tate has a huge game and then you're like, oh man, you know. So.
I hear you. So, all right, back to what I got left here for my $700, 2 positions to fill here. It's tough for me to think about here. Because then I got to think about a defense, and I don't got to worry too much about a defense, Joe. Talk to me, Joe.
Hey, man, honestly, James Conner's out, so the backup running back for the Steelers, he's probably super cheap. He's probably, you know.
Backup running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers? You're thinking it's going to come in at cheap?
I mean.
Connor is out, huh?
Yeah, Conner's out.
It's got him here. Let's see, as doubtful. Though is not in the line to play. Yep. Okay. I was just reading the doubtful one, then I went and then the update. Yes, correct, Joe. Out. So who is the backup Pittsburgh running back?
I'm trying to. Jalen Samuels. Yeah, I'd probably start Jalen Samuels. He's probably cheap.
As a flex guy?
I mean, how much money do you have?
Joe, what if he just sucks moose nuts? I mean, I meant to say squirrel. And then
Squirrel nuts?
That's what I meant to say. That snuck out.
I mean, he could, but I mean, he's starting and he's probably cheap. So, depending on how much you want to pay for a flex, it's all your call, man.
Guys, let me go to the boards here. I'm looking at the sports static board right now. And let's go to the fans. You guys know. I usually will say this often. But this show is all about the fans. That's you guys, right? Then you guys throw it back to us, fans. Right, Joe? We're fans.
Yep.
And then we throw it back to them, Joe. Throw it back to them. Throwing it back to the fans. So, guys, this is all about the fans. This show was birthed. It gave birth in a bar and grill. Sitting around talking football. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're doing here. So what I want to do, I was just checking to see if I had any comments coming up on another platform, and I don't. I want to go to the fans right now. Come on, guys. Throw me a bone here. I'm looking for the flex, guys. I'm looking for a flex position, and I don't have a lot to spend, so that's part of my problem. Now, as I kind of go through the flex position here, Joe, and I think, do I want to get risky on this? Okay. I could kind of come into the range of, let's see, maybe a Lindsey. I could maybe do a Lindsey on a flex position, Joe.
I like that.
I mean, you know he's going to get the touches, right?
He's going to get the touches, and he's been doing pretty well. So I think, honestly, as the season goes on, I think he starts. So, yeah, that's a good pick.
I mean, what I really want to see it, because I'm not 100% sure, is I'm kind of wanting to see where, let's see, Cleveland Brown as far as stopping the rush. Okay, that's what I'm more really interested in, because, let's see, and yeah, okay. That answered my question. Cleveland's not very good, Joe, at stopping the rush. They're actually ranked at number 29th at stopping the rush.
Yeah.
So Lindsey coming in. And, guys, if I go Lindsey coming in here, I can get Lindsey for $5,300. And if I do that in my flex position and I bring Lindsey in, Lindsey at 50. Where is right there? Lindsey at 5,300. Boom. All right, guys, that left me with $2,400 to spend on that defense, and I'm feeling pretty good about it right now as far as what I got left to spend on that defense. That leaves me with $2,400 to spend, and I can tell you right now, Joe, tell me what you think as I run this down for you, Joe. I got the Pittsburgh, the Raiders, the Kansas City Chiefs. I've got the Buccaneers at 2,100, Joe. The Buccaneers, but you know that's going to eat me up with, Joe, right when they start getting all those passes on them, I ain't going to do ship high in transit with the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the Buccaneers defense.
Oh, man, Joe, this is kind of leaving me high and dry, and with $2,400, it's almost like I got to take, and I'm thinking about it, Joe, it's almost like I got to take that freaking Pittsburgh thing and really make Ian happy on this one. Pittsburgh, I mean, last game they had 2 interceptions. They had 4 sacks. I mean, you know.
Against the Dolphins.
I know. But, I mean, when you're looking at it today and you're looking, okay, so they're playing the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know, Joe.
I wouldn't do it, John. I'd go Cowboys against the Giants. I mean, you know, Leighton Vander Esch is out, but the Cowboys defense is good. High-paid defense. Yeah. Depending how much they cost.
I just can't afford them.
Yeah.
I cannot afford them. I'd have to change something out in my lineup to do that. So I just simply can't afford them, Joe.
How about the Eagles defense? The Bears offense isn't very good. Eagles defense is talented. So.
Oh, man. Joe, this is so tough for me right now. It's so tough, and the reason why, because I'd have to actually switch somebody out in my lineup. I mean, I'd have to get rid of probably a high-dollar receiver.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I'd probably have to get rid of Schuster.
I wouldn't do it. I'd just go a budget defense.
And if I go budget defense, I'd have to go with the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Joe, I just would have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now and just think, hey, had a good week last week. Let's call it that good week. I'm going to get enough points in some of my other stuff, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, look, they give up less yards than the Colts do. So.
All right,
probably take them, yeah.
I mean, and that's just because, Joe, I went big on some of that other stuff. So, guys, look, as my defense there, you see it. I'm going to take that. Boom. The thing that's kind of cool about it, guys, and wait, let me submit this before I forget. Boom, I entered it. So I want to make sure, boom, I entered it. Congratulations, I'm in. Guys, I wanted to do that for you because, Joe, here's the thing, okay? I spent big on my other picks, so that's where it left me with that, Joe. I spent big, so you win some, you lose some.
I like the team, so and that's what happens, John. Every time you go, if you get 3 solid guys and you pick up some budget, other budget guys, those 3 guys that are high dollar, they'll usually win you the fantasy game. That's normally what happens.
Yeah, I see that. So what happened when I did that, guys, which is crazy, is and I guess you can say I kind of like it doing that way. You guys are going to see when I go back to my screen that we're going to be promoting Dunkin' Donuts here. Man, I love Dunkin' Donuts, so you can't go wrong with Dunkin' Donuts. But anyway, so when you guys look at my little thing over here, I'm circling it for you. You can see my picks there. And I had $0 remaining, so I took it right down to the dollar. Quarterback, I started Derek Carr. There's a reason why. I think he's going to do well against Detroit secondary. As a running back, I took Delvin Cook, and I'm thinking Delvin Cook's going to do damn good in anybody he faces. I took a cheaper quarterback from the strong advice from our co-host Joe. I went with the old veteran. I think he's the oldest running back in the NFL, Frank Gore. Wide receiver, I took Galladay because I think that Stafford's going to just throw the ball at him a lot, and he's going to get the ball a lot. I took Schuster in favor of Ian. Schuster's going to see the ball too. Another wide receiver that was listed as questionable and actually still is on DraftKings, but we had updated news he's been playing, is Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson, watch out. This guy can go from not playing for weeks to a 100-yard game with 2 receptions. I mean, that's the thing right there. I took a tight end, Jonnu Smith. I took the flex position of Lindsey. I'm looking for Lindsey to have a pretty good day today. And then I took the defense of the Steelers. Man, Ian, you got to be kind of happy with some of the stuff that I did because I actually went with a couple Pittsburgh guys.
Hey, man, I like Pittsburgh in this matchup. So I think that's a good pick with Juju. And even if you wanted to go pick up their running back, Jalen Samuel, I think he's going to get a lot of touches. So those were good picks.
All right, so Ian, yes, I did it. You dared me. I did it. I got 2 Steelers guys. And Ian also put up there to go with Adrian Peterson as a flex, which is a really, really good one if you have the loot and you have the money remaining to do so. I didn't have the money remaining in that to do so. I definitely would have done that. So, that's the picks. Joe, we're going to go into breaking it down, Joe, with our picks of the week. Break down all of the games, Joe. Guys, get ready. Here comes all your picks. You already know what we did here. And what is the score, if anybody can give me score? What is the score? Joe, do you got the score on that game? Ian, do you got the score? Joe.
Yeah, the Texans just scored a touchdown. It's 19-3 Texans with going into the fourth quarter.
19-3 the Texans. 30 seconds left into the third quarter. 19-3 Texans. Is Jacksonville going to even have a chance to come back here?
I don't think so. But anything's possible.
Anything's possible, right, Joe?
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, guys. Anything is possible. So, here we go. Breaking it down here. We have the Bears at the Eagles. Joe.
The Bears at the Eagles. I like the Eagles in this one. I think their defense steps up. I think Carson Wentz does well. I just can't trust Trubisky. I can't trust him. He's kind of like Jameis. I can't trust him. Their offense, I can't trust their offense. David Montgomery for the Bears. He's a good running back. Really good. But I think if you just, pinch the line, stack the box against them, I think the Eagles will beat the Bears. The Eagles are just too much firepower, and I just think they have the win.
And I got to tell you that as far as what I'm thinking on this one, because you're right, Joe, you can't bet on Trubisky. I mean, you don't know who you're getting again, and he's not going to win the game on his feet. If a team allows him to do that, shame on you. If you already know this, essentially, come on now, make him beat you with your arm, and you're going to have a pretty good game against the Chicago Bears. Now, we do know Chicago has the ability to win the game on defense if you have some of them defensive players go off. We already know that can happen. But I'm with you, Joe, with the Eagles on this one. And Ian's taking the Eagles as well on this one. Because if Deshaun Jackson's back, he is the big play game breaker. He's the guy that has the game-breaking play, Joe. So, with that being said, Joe, if he's back and he's healthy,
if he's back and he's healthy, I like the Eagles. So, and also Akeem Hicks for the Bears, who's a great run stopper, he's not even playing. So, I mean, I would take the Eagles in this one.
All right, so we've got the Colts versus the Steelers. Colts versus the Steelers. Gee, I wonder, when I'm thinking about this, who Ian's going to take on this one. I wonder who Ian's going to take on this one. Joe, who you taking? The Colts are at the Steelers. It's tough, Joe.
This was probably the toughest pick.
Why? Why is this tough, though?
Okay, because, look, T.Y. Hilton's out for the Colts, but James Conner's out for the Steelers. I mean, my pick is going to be, I'm sorry, Ian, but I'm taking the Colts. I've picked against the Colts before, and they've proved me wrong. I like Jacoby Brissett. I like Jacoby Brissett more than Mason Rudolph. I like Rudolph, but I think Brissett is very good. Marlon Mack's playing. Steelers defense been looking good. But I just have to go the Colts, man. I think it's going to be a really, really close game, though. Real close game.
I think this is going to be a really close game, too. And it's a real tough one for me to pick here. You got the Colts at 5-2, okay? That's an impressive 5-2. Pittsburgh's at 3-4. I mean, you'd hate to see that Pittsburgh's going 3-5, but I don't know, Joe. How comfortable are you with this Pittsburgh quarterback situation?
Look, I mean, I like him. I think he's pretty good, to be completely honest. But it's just, I mean, this is a tough game to call. It could go either way. That's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna pick the Colts. Pretty much just because Marlon Mack and Jacoby Brissett, so that's why I'm picking them.
Well, we know Ian's saying the Colts, yeah, right, here we go, Steelers. And then he comes up and says, Joe, don't know.
That's funny, man. Hey, man, I can't go with you every week.
Yeah. But he's gone with you many times, Ian.
I've gone with you a lot.
Many. He's run with you.
And this was a tough pick for me, to be honest. It was, but man, look, I got the Colts. I'm taking the Colts.
Huge pick and a very tough pick for me as well here. I mean, I'm stuck on this one because I really want to see Pittsburgh at home do something here. What's up, Joe? What's up?
That's funny, man. Ian, you make me laugh.
I want to take. But, guys, I'm thinking that the Colts are going to get a running game going and the passing game going. Ian, I'm sorry, man. Even though I took 2 Pittsburgh guys, they're still going to get what I need them to get for me. But I'm going to take the Colts on that one. So, Ian, I'm sorry, but I got to take the Colts. Joe's taking the Colts. And Ian's taking the Steelers. We know that, Ian. Moving right along, I know going into the Jets at the Dolphins, here's a big game for you. I bet you Sam Darnold has a good game, but man, Miami keeps fighting, Joe. They fight.
Miami does fight. And they were up 14-0 against the Steelers. So, I mean, that tells you that they don't want to go without winning a game this whole season. But unfortunately, I'm taking the Jets and Sam Darnold. I think Le'Veon Bell has a huge game. I don't think Dolphins will be able to stop the run. And the Dolphins offense, look, man, I think this will be a close game, but I just think Le'Veon Bell is going to be the difference. So I'm taking the Jets.
I mean, I agree with you on this one, and I think Sam Darnold gets a chance to loosen up a little bit and attack a defense that's poor. It's a poor defense, guys. Now, I'm not trying to knock Miami fans. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just basically stating the fact. But I will tell you this. I know they're saying there's a lot of tanking going on because of the trades and things like that. Okay? And to make a valid point here, the tanking isn't going on based on players actually in their effort, Joe. By no means. We're getting a good effort out of these players in Miami.
They are, yeah. They do try their best.
They're just saying the organization and the way they've handled in their roster and who they've put on the team as a roster was an intentional tanking situations, what a lot of people are saying, Joe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because they're trying to tank for Tua. So, I mean, maybe they shouldn't win.
Here's big news. I know that. Isn't that crazy, Joe? They're trying to tank for Tua.
I mean, they're not going anywhere anyway, so they're not going to the playoffs anyway.
Congratulations, Tua. That should be a comforting thing. Jeez. Guess what Ian's doing? Guess what Ian's doing?
I don't know, probably has a voodoo doll with our faces on it. Stabbing the voodoo doll.
He's calling for the Finns to get their first win, Joe.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Calling for the Finns to get the first win. All right, Ian. I appreciate your enthusiasm on that one, Ian. There's magic in the air, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of Fitz Magic. Man, you're almost making me want to change that pick right there.
Oh, John.
With Matt. Well, look at the Jets, Joe. The defense. I mean,
Do they still have Jamal Adams, though?
I mean, they do, but still, when you're looking, Joe, look at the Jets' defense, Joe.
Yeah, right.
And that's what scares me, Joe, when I'm thinking about this. I'm taking the Jets, and I'm not even thinking about Fitzmagic who'll throw the ball up in the air, and he'll do it. He's not scared, Joe.
No, he's not scared. You're right. He's not scared. I think this is going to be a close game, but the run game going to be the difference.
Joe, I got to look here because the run game is going to be the difference. So when we go at that run game and we look, okay,
Yeah.
I just got to look here. Oh, man. Joe, they're going to run it down Miami's throat.
Yeah,
Joe, they're going to run it down Miami's throat.
exactly.
They're going to run it down Miami's throat. Man, that just... So, but when we look at what's going to happen to the Jets here, okay, when we go and say, all right, what's going to happen to the Jets? Because the New York Jets are ranked 24th against the pass. They might have the ball coming. If they're not ready for that deep threat, Joe, you know what, Joe? You're absolutely right. This is going to be a close game, Joe.
It's going to be a close game, yeah.
Ian,
real close game.
Ian, that's a great pick for you to get their first win on this one. And Ian says, you're cracking him up, Joe. Ian's saying you're cracking him up. He's saying you have him cracking up.
Hey, you got me cracking up too, man.
So, guys, how about that background, by the way? Joe's background, if you guys don't know, I'll put this out for you, okay? Joe's background is a painting of Lipa. He is a famous artist, Lipa. He founded the Lipa Ratner Museum of Art here in Tarpon Springs, Florida, okay? If you guys want to see this painting, very well known artist, Lipa, taught at Michigan State University for 38 years as an art professor. I'll put in there for you guys, Joe, you're actually sitting in front of a very well-known artist for one, but also a famous painting, Joe. So
That's awesome.
I'm going to put in, Joe, I'm going to put in a little comment here. Lipa Ratner Museum of Art. Boom. And boom. All right, guys, if you guys want to check it out, what I did was just to let you know Joe's background. We got a special background from a special artist, okay? An original painting Joe's sitting in front of. An original Lipa painting. You guys, I put it in the comment section if you want to see a little bit of history behind the painting that Joe's sitting in front of. Joe, it's colorful. You're sitting in front of a colorful painting today, Joe.
I like it.
And so I thought I'm going to feature one of these every once in a while. It goes well with Joe's shirt. It does. So we're fortunate enough to have one of those paintings in the studio today. And we put Joe right in front of it because of the construction that's going on with all of our sets. But I'll tell you what, you guys will see in the comments the Lipa Ratner Museum, where there's a huge The artist Lipa that Joe sitting one of founded the Lipa Ratner Museum. He made a donation of 7,000 pieces of art in a donation to that studio. He founded it, and they had a huge museum built there. You guys can check it, all the history out. I put it right there in the comments, so just click on that link I put there for you guys, and you guys can check it out. So there's a little history to Joe's background in case any of you guys wanted to know what was up with that. There it is. Going right back to the picks, Joe. The Vikings are at the Chiefs, Joe.
I'm taking the Vikings in this one. Against the Vikings have a better defense, and if Mahomes was playing, I'd probably pick the Chiefs. But without Mahomes, I'm going the Vikings and Kirk Cousins. The Chiefs' defense isn't very good. They give up so many yards. They give up a lot of rush yards as well. And the Vikings' defense is better. I think this rookie quarterback has trouble against the Vikings' defense. So I'm definitely going the Vikings in this one.
Joe, if Patrick Mahomes was playing, I got to ask you, if Patrick Mahomes was playing and starting in this game, would you take the Vikings?
No.
You would not.
That's how good Mahomes is.
He is that good, but I'm going to tell you right now, Moore's a pretty good quarterback here.
Yeah, but Mahomes is just...
I know. Mahomes is off the chart good. But I will tell you this. I'm sticking with, you've had this quarterback now that's actually had a week of practice with the starters, knowing he's starting again, okay? Which he did last week, but I'm taking Andy Reid, putting a quarterback in a great position. Andy Reid, okay, has got this quarterback with the playbook. It's going to be a great game. I'm not saying that it's not going to be close. This is going to be a great game. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game, Joe.
I mean, that's a good pick. I just don't think the Kansas City Chiefs defense will be able to stop Dalvin Cook and Diggs and Cousins.
And Ian agrees with you.
Yeah, I think Cook has a huge game. I really do. And Matt Moore, he looked good against the Packers.
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt Moore.
Sorry, guys. I said the name wrong. Matt Moore. He did look good against the Packers. I think he's a good quarterback. Having that extra week is what I'm talking about, Joe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a close game, but I just think the Vikings are too high-powered, and their defense is a lot better. So.
Joe, how about this? And by the way, Ian's taking the Vikings too, but how about the Titans versus the Panthers, Joe?
I'm going the Titans on this one because the Panthers, if I was a defensive coordinator and all you do is pass the ball to McCaffrey, I wouldn't think it would be that hard to stop them. And the Panthers got destroyed. And they were my upset against the 49ers. They got obliterated. So I'm going the Titans. I think that Derrick Henry has a good game. I think Ryan Tannehill looks pretty good. He looked good against the Bucks, but so does every quarterback. I'm going Tennessee on this one.
I'm on the fence here. I am on the fence here because, man, I seriously don't know what I'm going to do here with this one because it's that really close of a call. I kind of want to go Panthers on here. Joe, good recovery from the Panthers. A good recovery, I'm going to call. A good recovery. I'm a little bit concerned with McCaffrey. Like I said before, I think he's getting used and abused and served like hell. And I believe that's what's happening. I think they need to pull back on him a little bit. But I think that the Panthers are going to be able to do enough to beat the Titans in Carolina. So that's what I'm hoping on for there, Joe. I'm going with the Panthers. Ian's going you and Ian, Joe, you and Ian are making the same picks here.
Yeah. I just think the Titans, if Tannehill doesn't turn the ball over, and if I think Derrick Henry has a big game, and the Titans' defense is actually pretty good, to be honest. The Panthers, you know, all you have to really do is if you stop McCaffrey, I think you win. So if they do that, I think they win.
Washington Redskins are going into Buffalo. Washington Redskins into Buffalo. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen here, but you never know, Joe.
I mean, I think the Bills blow out the Washington Redskins. Yeah, I think the defense is just going to create a lot of turnovers. Josh Allen's going to have a big game. Frank Gore, I mean, he should have a good game. Yeah, the Redskins defense, I mean, there's just not a good team. So I'm taking the Bills.
I'm also taking the Bills. I've liked the Bills this year. I'm thinking that there's sometimes I'm questioning, and I think that the quarterback position could be a little bit better, but they mix it up enough to they make it work. Their defense is good. Their defense looks good. Little bit iffy on the quarterback situation. Little, completions. Little sketchy on some of these throws. Quarterback position gets cleaned up in Buffalo. You're going to see a really, really good team. But that being said, Washington, I'm almost picking anybody to beat Washington. So it's here nor there. And Ian's going with the Buffalo Bills as well on that one. So can you believe it, for the first time, Joe, that we actually all took the same team?
Was that the first time in like this whole season?
No. We all took the
it's
Eagles.
Rare though. It's rare.
It is rare for us all to do it, Joe. It is
yeah.
rare. So, but we took the Eagles.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving right along here, guys. The Buccaneers, Joe. The Buccaneers are at the seat. Joe. The Buccaneers are at the Seahawks. Talk to me.
Well, unfortunately, I'm picking Seattle in this one.
What?
Yeah. I got to go Seattle because, I mean, they're just, Russell Wilson, MVP candidate. Buccaneers secondary is pretty bad. I think Russell Wilson's going to roll out of the pocket a lot, and he's probably going to hit Tyler Lockett, Metcalf, whomever it is. And I think Jameis is going to make a lot of mistakes against Seattle, in Seattle, against the 12th man. Yeah, I'm going the Seahawks.
It's a tough pick, and we always have a tough pick on this. And, Joe, the reason why we keep having these tough picks on this is because of the simple fact is that we don't know who we're going to get from the Buccaneers in the quarterback position, Joe.
Yeah, you're right. And
but I have a feeling, Joe, and I'm starting to sense you're not so much of a Jameis Winston fan anymore.
Look, I've been riding with this guy, but it's just the mistakes this guy makes, and it just it kind of just ruins the game. Like, it just makes me frustrated, and it's just I don't want to watch his mistakes anymore. It gets ridiculous. It really does. So I mean, I got to go the Seahawks.
And that's what I mean, Joe. I can feel your pain, and you're right. It's to that point where it's just gotten so, I mean, it's gotten so ridiculous. Sorry, guys, I had an audio problem. Upset of the week, Ian? Oh, my God. Are you serious right now?
What?
Ian.
What did he say?
Ian wants to go on our Buccaneers, Joe.
Are you? Oh, my God, Ian, I hope you're right about that, man. I really hope you're right about that.
Ian's wanting to go on our Buccaneers, Joe. And he's wanting to call them Buccaneers. I mean, I don't know, man.
Hey,
I mean, what do you say to him, Joe?
I hope you're right, to be honest. If Jameis doesn't throw interceptions, which, he does, I mean, I hope it happens. I just think the Seahawks is just too good of a defense, to be honest. And I pick the Bucs all the time. But I got to go Seahawks on this one.
I mean, how bad do I really want to go with him is the thing, is that, and I get, like, totally, I totally get with what he's saying here. And we're not even going for our home team. He's looking to go for the whole team. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, the way that this goes, that upset alert was not for me. That upset alert is for you, Ian. You are getting the upset alert. You're getting the upset pick. Joe, what do you think about him doing that?
I like it. It's bold.
It is bold, and I'll tell you what, Ian. You're taking that upset pick of the week. More power to you on that. The Seahawks might be overlooking Tampa Bay. It's a trap game. He's calling it a trap game. Who's overlooking this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team, Joe?
Yeah, they honestly probably are, because this team's talented. It's just Jameis is making the mistakes. So, look, it'll be a close game if he doesn't throw interceptions, but it's just kind of inevitable at this point.
And I got to tell you right now, Ian, I'm going Seattle too. I know this. It's going to come down to the fact that it's a passing game. Russell Wilson, can you keep up with what Jameis is going to do? Because Jameis is going to put the ball in the air a lot. Now, we go week on, week off, week on, week off, week on, week off. Jameis Winston is due for 3 or 4 turnovers in this game right now. He's due right now, because this is what happens. He'll get you this close to believing in him.
Yeah.
You'll get that close to believing him, and then he will have 2 fumbles, 2 freaking interceptions. 1 or 2 of them are going for 6, Joe.
Yeah, probably. To be honest, probably.
I mean, he gets you that close, though, don't he? Right when you want to think of him again.
Yeah, he makes you think, like, man, he's good, and then makes a mistake. Makes another mistake. It's weird, but it always happens.
So, Ian, you got the upset on that one. It's all yours, buddy. Here's a game that I'm really looking forward to watching here. The Detroit Lions are going to see Oakland Raiders. Detroit playing the Oakland Raiders, Joe.
This was a tough game to call, too. Wow, the spread actually has the Oakland Raiders winning. I'm picking Detroit pretty much because I think Stafford is really good. I think Stafford's really good, and I think Galladay is really good, too. And I think they're underrated, to be honest. The Raiders' defense is actually pretty solid, but Lions don't have Kerryon Johnson, but I think Stafford's just gonna pass all over him. That's why I'm picking Detroit.
Raiders defense has looked like they've shaped up a little bit, okay? And I gotta say that, and the offense is clicking. Gruden's got his quarterback playing good football right now. So why I took Carr as my starting quarterback in DraftKings. So I'm looking for Carr to have a good day, okay? A good day. But I'm looking for Stafford to have a better day. I'm with you on this one with Detroit.
Yeah.
Ian's also with us on Detroit on this one. So, although we believe that the Raiders are looking pretty good, they're looking better, okay? They're just not going to be enough, I don't think, for just as you said. Now, the Raiders are 3-4, okay? This would be a huge game for them to go at and be at 500 right now, week 9, to be at 500. But I just don't think. I think Stafford's going to show everybody why I say and why I have said, man, I think you can take Matthew Stafford and put him on any championship caliber team, on any team over the last 7-8 seasons that's won a Super Bowl. If you had Matthew Stafford on that team, he would have done the same thing and had some Super Bowl rings for you. I think Matthew Stafford is that good of a quarterback, Joe.
I do too. I think Stafford, he throws for so many yards. Patricia's giving him the ball a lot more so he could throw the ball more. And without Kerryon Johnson, he's definitely going to be passing the ball a lot. So It's going to be a close one, but I'm taking the Lions.
We've got the Packers at the Chargers. Packers at the Chargers, Joe. I know what's up here.
Packers. I don't go against the Packers very often. I'm going to pick them a lot this season. Aaron Rodgers is just amazing. Devontae Adams is coming back today against the Chargers with no Derwin James. Phillip Rivers, he hasn't been looking the same. Melvin Gordon, we don't know, what's wrong with him. Austin Eckler's getting more touches than him. I'm going the Packers defense. The Packers defense looks good. Rodgers looks amazing. Yeah, Green Bay.
100% agree with you on this one. Rodgers is looking great. The Green Bay Packers are playing like kids on the playground. They're having fun. I mean, how many seasons have you actually seen Aaron Rodgers smiling, laughing, smiling every game? Well, at least the last few.
Yeah, right. So he's smiling a lot now. And the funny thing is, people were like, "Oh, he had a down year last year." I'm like, he only threw 2 interceptions last year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Green Bay.
The Packers fans should be 3-1 today is what Ian's saying. The Packers fans should be 3-1 today. Ian's going for the Chargers to take out the Packers. Ian, you're making some bold moves today, but I can't say it's a bad pick because look, Phillip Rivers, okay? It's not like the Chargers don't have quality players. It's not like they're not a team that can't be in every single game, okay? So that's always, anytime there's a team playing the Chargers, Joe, for me, that's always a tough pick. Anybody playing the Chargers is tough for me, Joe. I expected them to be way better at this point.
Yeah, it's a tough pick, but it's kind of like they're kind of a little similar to the Bucs in the fact that it's a close game, and then the fourth quarter, they lose it. So that's
true.
The main reason I'm going for the Packers.
And in last year's show, one of our callers, Detroit Dupes, basically described the Chargers. He told you to never. Well, he would tell you, go for the Chargers through the first half of the season. They'll make you believers every time. And then they fall apart and take a ship high in transit on you. If those of you don't know what that means, ship high in transit, you'll have to look that up. You will have to look it up. The abbreviations for each word is important in this. And some of our regulars on the show know what ship high in transit means. But that's the Chargers. They lead you on. They make you believers, and then they ship high in transit on you. That's what they do, Joe. They ship high in transit.
And when I picked them, and they should have won against, I forgot the team they were going against, but they got 2 touchdowns reversed, and Melvin Gordon fumbles on the 1-yard line. So, I mean, that's crazy. I can't pick the Chargers in this one.
Ian reiterated what he said there, and makes a lot of sense when I see it now. That for the Chargers fans, the Packers, Chargers fans 3-1 in L.A.
Oh.
I think the Packers fans should be 3-1. Okay. That's the problem with Chargers when they're in L.A., and it's kind of sad for them is that they don't have a home fan base, and it's kind of messed up. And it's why the Chargers are so good on the road. I mean, it's like a road game when they're at home all the time, and it's pretty depressing for the Chargers. They need their stadium done. They need that thing done, and they need it done. I don't know. I missed what you said, Joe, because I was focusing on some stuff, but Ian said that was at Tennessee, Joe.
Yeah, he's right, yeah.
What was?
I kind of forgot what I said. Something about the Packers. Ian, can you tell me? I forgot about what I said.
Sorry, Ian. See, Ian, when we don't have producer Dave in here or another producer online helping us, we're screwed.
Oh,
man.
that was the fumble. Yeah, I remember now. The fumble. You know, they had 2 touchdowns reversed, and then Melvin Gordon fumbled, and I picked the Chargers to win that game, and they should have won, but that's what happens.
It does. So there you go. Good memory there. Browns going to Denver. The Browns at Denver. The Browns need something, Joe. The Browns need something to happen here, bud. What's up?
I'm picking the Browns. I'm picking the Browns. It's funny, like, every time the Browns are in the media, it's like something comes up. We just saw the media questions are stupid questions. They made some dumb questions because I just saw Baker's interview, but I'm getting on a tangent. But Browns, I got Browns winning because I can't.
Wait, I'm sorry, Joe. I got to know because I missed the Baker interview. What are we talking about?
Okay, the interviewer asked him, like, how do you feel? It was something like, how do you feel after the game? And Baker was like, how do you
stupid
think?
Question.
Yeah,
he said it was a stupid question.
It was some stupid question.
Right, and he walked out.
He's like, Jesus, Tony.
He said that?
Yeah, he's like, Jesus, Tony. Yeah, it was funny. But
and he caught a lot of ship high in transit over that.
Oh, he always does. You know? But I'm going the Browns because I can't trust. And Joe Flacco's done for the season for the Broncos, so I can't trust their offense. I can't trust that offense. I'm going the Browns.
How did Joe Flacco become done for the season in Denver?
I don't know. Was it his thumb? I don't even know what happened.
It was his freaking mouth.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And mysteriously had a neck injury or something, they said, because he came out there and said, what are these coaches doing? Why wouldn't you go for it? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? He goes, I mean, seriously? This is what you did?
Yeah.
Come on, seriously? I'm out here to play to win all this. You play to win the game, okay? And I agree with him. But then the next week, he all of a sudden has a neck injury? That's BS, Joe.
That is. I mean,
and now he's done for the season.
Yeah, they put him on IR.
That is a bunch of BS, man.
Yep.
And he is not injured. You know what? Come out, Denver. You donkeys. The Denver Donkeys. Why don't you go ahead and grab a handful, okay? Cinch them up a little bit. And come right out and tell us what's really happening. No, don't be... Oh, Joe.
Yeah, that's what happens when you
Joe, I got to tell you right now. That irks me so bad. And then Ian just now said Baker Mayfield was Ryan Leaf 2.0. Come on now. Not even close. Ryan Leaf, locker room freak out. Never even close to that one. But I do appreciate your analogy to that and your enthusiasm, Ian. So, Joe, I just got ticked off at Denver because I just remembered, and I'm seeing what happened there. And, I mean, that seriously, Joe, just totally ticked me off with the Denver thing. And I'm thinking, Joe, why don't they just come right out, Why don't they just come right out and say it, Joe, and tell us what really happened, Joe?
Probably because they don't want that locker room issue. If you go against you can't go against the upper management, I guess. So I thought they should have went for it on 4th down too, because they're 2-6. They're not making the playoffs.
But go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean that's just what happens, and they should tell us what's really wrong with Joe Flacco. Now he doesn't have a neck injury. Like, come on.
That is ship high in transit, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, grab a handful, and, I mean, seriously, grab a handful. Tell us what's really happening. If you've got the cojones to actually, if you've got the cojones to actually just come up with an injury thing, then why not tell us what's up? You know what I think about that, Joe? And this is the first time I've flown this here.
Squirrel nuts.
Close. Check out on the monitor screen, Joe. I want you to really see this, okay? I mean, and then there's both of them flying at you.
Oh, man.
Okay? That's what I'm thinking of Denver right now.
Funny.
Okay? And, okay? I'm just letting you know right now. Denver, if you guys if you want to make stupid moves, and he was right, Flacco was right, Joe, on what he said. And then when this guy doesn't speak in front of the camera his whole career, you've never heard him say this, and for a guy named Joe Flacco to be that frustrated, to come out and say what he did, and then you're going to have this the baby move. I should have the crying baby on that one, and I almost put the crying baby graphic up on this, but you're going to come out and lie to us. Say he's got a neck injury and put him on the IR, say he's done for the season like that, because you don't got enough cojones, and you're going to feed us the ship high on transit. Denver, you can't come out here, have enough cojones to tell us what's really going on. For the first time on this show, I'm not only just going to fly one at you. I'm not going to just fly one at you. I'm flying both of them at you. And I'm telling you right now, Denver, man up, team up. Come on, Elway. You're better than that. Show your face, Elway. I want to see who you are. Joe, am I up? Joe, am I out of line on this one, Joe?
No, that's hilarious.
Joe, I've saved that one all season. We've never used it. Finally, week 9, I finally used that one, Joe. Was the timing right, Joe?
It was perfect.
Jeez.
Perfect timing.
Thank you. I got to go to the chat board to even see this. I scared everybody away with that one, Joe. Nobody even wants to even touch me on that one. Nobody wants to touch me on that one. So, Joe, just to say what's happening here, like I do every week, I took the Browns. I'm not even a Browns fan, guys. They have a bad coach. The Browns have a bad football coach.
He'll be gone.
They have great players on that team. Defensively, they need to tighten up a little bit in that defensive backfield, okay? But the Browns have some great personnel on the field. They've got some good defensive players. They've got some great offensive players. I'm not writing off Baker Mayfield because he's got a coach that didn't deserve to be a coach right now. That, guys, come on, when you look at these football decisions that this coach is making, it's ridiculous, Joe. Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And I'm gonna say something that maybe some guys aren't maybe not thinking, but I think real bold prediction. I think Odell Beckham Jr. goes to the Patriots. Bold prediction. I'm doing that, man.
Joe.
Hey, I just that's a bold prediction, man. It's just things might happen where that happens. If Tom Brady comes back and they say he plays till 45 or whatever, I think Odell might go to the Patriots.
Here's what's going to happen. Cleveland's going to get their swag back. Okay? Odell Beckham's going to put these gold watches and goat-haired freaking sneakers away, and he's going to come out and he's going to bring it, man. Damn, I don't know about you guys, but every time I do this, it hurts my shoulder. But you can't resist to that background. So, no, Joe. No, Joe. And I know, Joe, you know. And Joe knows, guy. Joe, you sticking with it?
It depends on a couple factors. If Freddie Kitchens stays and if Tom Brady keeps playing, it's very possible. He's said out in the media, look, I want to play. I want to play with the GOAT. He wants to play with the GOAT.
The only goat he's getting is goat cheese, and if he comes to Tarpon Springs, okay, he might get some goat on the Epiphany. We got plenty of it flying around here, and I'll tell you right now about that goat. It's not bad. So, you want to try some goat, but Odell, you don't deserve to all of a sudden now you want to go somewhere else because you're not getting the ball. I'll tell you what, when you do get the ball thrown to you, Odell, work on catching the freaking thing first. All right? Catch it, and I don't care what you do in practice. You're going to sit there and practice one-handed catch. No, put two hands on the ball and catch it during the game. I'm watching you drop balls, Odell. So I don't want to see that ship high in transit. Again, catch the damn ball. Joe, I hear you. And I got to fade out here a little bit with my... Because for me to bring a little bit of that funk music into the set right there was the swag. It's the swag I want to see. But anyway, Joe, I do appreciate your enthusiasm. And you could be right. Nothing surprises me anymore, Joe, when it comes to the New England Patriots.
Honestly, nothing surprises me. Nothing.
So anyway... I'm looking for Cleveland like I had all the time, guys. I pick them every time. I love the underdogs. I believe they got the personnel. I believe they got a poor coach. Let's get rid of this coach. Guys, I don't know what you're doing there, management, in Cleveland, but pull your head out of the ship high in transit. Pull your head out, and let's make some decisions here. Joe, the Patriots. This, to me, Joe, is the game of the week right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is the game of the week right here. And I'm sorry, but you can't use an upset alert on this. Because any way this game goes, I don't believe is an upset, okay? This, to me, is a playoff caliber game right here. The Patriots are going into Baltimore to play the Ravens, and I think it's the biggest challenge yet for the New England Patriots, Joe.
Yep. I got the Ravens in this one in Baltimore. I think Tom Brady's going to have some trouble with this defense. I think Bill Belichick's going to have trouble with Lamar Jackson because Bill Belichick has trouble with running quarterbacks. He has a lot of trouble with them. This Baltimore runs the ball pretty well, but the Patriots defense is really, really good. This is going to be a tough game. Tough game. I think it goes overtime, but I think Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens going to beat the Patriots and give them first loss of the year.
Joe, I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more on this one. I've watched the Patriots. I've watched who they've faced. By no means am I trying to say the Patriots are as good as they are because they've had a weak schedule. Okay? This is the strongest defense we've seen since the 1985 Chicago Bears. I mean, we'll see how they finish. But the fact they've allowed 2 passing touchdowns, I mean, this is a dominant, historically great defense. The best we've seen, again, since the Chicago Bears in 85. And even then, when you look at the stats of that Chicago Bears defense, even then, it's like, whoa, they're a lot better than that 85 Chicago Bear defense. But I believe this is their biggest challenge of the year. I believe it's very hard to coach a defense against somebody like Jackson and his abilities. There's just a lot of ways for him to hurt you. The last time the New England Patriots gave up 100 yards rushing from a quarterback was when the Patriots were playing a quarterback by the name of Randall Cunningham. Okay? That was a long time ago. So under the Belichick era, obviously, we haven't seen that. So that's what I read. Guys could correct me on that. Ian saying hate this game, hoping for a tie or the Pats clear throat the Patriots. The what? Clear the throat the Patriots. Okay, I get you now. Clear the throat. So you're looking for a tie or the Patriots, Ian. What do you think about that as a tie here, Joe?
Well, I know he doesn't like the Ravens or the Patriots, so probably be the best situation for him. But I hope the Ravens win, man. I'm tired of seeing Patriots win all the time. So I want Lamar Jackson and Ravens to win.
This is the week. If they're gonna lose, this is the week that they're gonna lose. So I'm with you on that one. I'm just thinking it's gonna happen, and Ian took the Patriots. Monday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys are in New York. Joe?
I like the Cowboys in this game. They're at New York with Danny Dimes, but I just think Ezekiel Elliott is going to have a huge game. Amari Cooper's going to have a good game. And the Giants, look, they might stay in this game until halftime or midway through the third quarter, but I think the Cowboys are going to come alive late and win the game.
Too much for New York.
Yeah.
They're too much for New York. The Giants really, I mean, them being at home, Barkley, there's a lot of good things. But the problem is Dallas at 4-3. Okay? They have to win this game. Okay? They have to win this game. It's a season-changing thing going on here. For Dallas to go 4-4 at this point is just no. They're going to give everything they got on this game here. Dallas will be 5-3 after this. So Dallas, and I'm looking at Dallas to actually destroy them. So I really am. I'm looking for Dallas to destroy them. Before I click away, just a little update here, guys. Houston, with 24 seconds left in the game, it's 26-3. So Houston gets the win. I haven't even looked at this game and the stats or anything to tell you why and how, but I think you guys can probably imagine what happened here. Watson went off. I'm guessing. So at 26-3, Houston takes that game. And Houston, I mean, I'll click on it real quick just to see what's up here, guys. But we kind of knew what was going to happen there. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I can't really see what's going on here. Once you know it, when I go to it, there was a problem when I went to it. But anyway, I'm sure we know what happened there and why that happened. So it is what it is. Joe, I'm still waiting. Here we go. Oh, Cowboys don't win in New Jersey. Giants. Joe.
Man, Ian, you're picking a lot of upsets, man.
Joe, Ian's taking. Tell him, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants, I think they'll hang with them for, like, maybe till halftime. But I just think Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a big game. I really do. This Giants rush defense isn't very good. So I think Ezekiel Elliott, he's been doing pretty well this season, so I think he has a huge game, and that's probably going to be the reason why the Giants don't win this game. And the Cowboys, Van Der Esch is out, but that defense is solid, man. So I'm taking the Cowboys.
Ian went alone on 6 games different than us today, Joe.
Wow.
6 games different than us today, Ian. I mean, dude, if you hit these games, we're going to end up having you got to call in on the next show. I mean, you got to tell us what's up here. You got a recipe that's better than any bowl of chili anybody's had with cornbread in it. You got a recipe that's doing something. So, I mean, wow, that's huge. So, Joe, here we are, my friend. Sunday football ready to kick off. Joe, talk to me.
Hey, look, Sunday football, I think there's good games today. But, you know, the biggest games is the tonight game, Ravens against the Patriots. I think it's going to be a historic game, to be completely honest with you. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a good game. And honestly, I think the Patriots defense is going to have a good game too. But I think Lamar Jackson's going to be the difference. And the Ravens take it, give the Patriots the first loss. Brady's going to be crying on the drive back home. Baltimore Ravens, baby.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. I'm looking for the Browns to bounce back a little bit. I'm looking for Detroit to pick up another win here. Yeah, Tampa Bay, I have a feeling. I'm sorry. I like the Buccaneers. I think we got the wrong guy underneath the center. Expect multiple turnovers today because you're going to have to fight to stay in this game. So Tampa Bay, I'm sorry, but I have a feeling we're going to see why we're not going to re-sign Jameis. This will be that game. I'm looking for the Glazers to capitalize and say, hey, you're right, guys. He's gone next year. So, I mean, there's some key games there. I'm seriously with you 100%. Baltimore gives New England their first loss. Joe, final statements before we cash out and go watch some Sunday football, Joe?
Well, I agree with you with the Jameis part. Final statements. Unfortunately, I have the Seahawks beating the Bucks. I think the Ravens give the Patriots their first loss. And guess what, guys? I think the Browns put it together today, and they have a good game. And look, John, I know you want to hear this. Lions are gonna beat the Raiders. And Ian, man, I like the upset picks. I really do. And you guys are just gonna have to tune in because this is gonna be a good day of football.
It is. It's going to be a good one. Guys, it's been a real pleasure once again. Tune in. Get your appetizers ready to go, guys. Get your appetizers ready to go because, I mean, with appetizers, guys, I'm talking about the all-classic nachos and jalapenos with shredded cheese on top of them. You guys got to do something for us here, okay? So get your stuff ready to go. This is the week 9, guys. There's not many weeks left on this, guys. So make sure, get your appetizers. If you don't, you guys got time to get it going in the oven right now so you don't miss anything. I mean, you don't want to miss anything in the games. But anyway, enjoy your football. We're going to see you guys 7:30 on Thursday. And then we actually have 7:30 to 8:30. We have a 10-minute recess, and we're going on with the NBA show at 8:40, the new NBA show. So we will see you guys then. Everybody, enjoy, I said it, enjoy your Sunday football.